Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's the big one. It's the ×2 Ancients. You can see over here the portal's blue. I've got 97 Ancient Shards on this account, and I've probably got about the same amount on the other account. So there's not much to talk about really. I've got the champions that I want. I can't even think of any off the top of my head. Brogni's probably up there with my top 10. The rest are all probably, the majority are all probably Void Shards or Void champions. So let's just get pulling, see what we get. So I've made a bit of space, but I'm going to have to stop halfway through and make space, and I'm going to have to do the same on the other account. So there's a champion chase. The champion chase isn't towards anything. It's just a normal tournament. There's no fusion. There's no fragment. There's nothing like that. So it's just pulling champions, which is what we all like to do. Let's go. First 10. You'll have to excuse if you see any paint on my clothes. Me and my partner have been doing some DIY around the house. So yeah, I'm looking a bit grubby, but I had to stop halfway through just so I could come and make this video. So, the first 10 pull, nothing of interest. Frozen Banshee's probably the best one in there, just for our poisons. And then Coffin Smasher, early game clan boss champion. He's got a decreased attack on his A1 and he's got a HP burn. So yeah, great champion for that, but probably outscaled later on in the game. Second 10 pull. Let's hope we get something, another Coffin Smasher. Deathless will be the death of me. And Flesh Terror. Nothing of interest there. They will both be fed 100%. Anything else? So yeah, Brogni's probably my number one non-void legendary. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. Champions like Fushan and stuff like that, they can come in really big. They can be really big for my account, but they're not that sort of top 10. I've already got a wonky Ultra Nightmare team, so I don't necessarily need these other champions. It'll be nice to build them out. Nothing of interest on that one. Hellborn Sprite, is that the one that, is this the one that increases the buffs? Yeah, so Hellborn Sprite can be used quite a lot in these, like, Infinity teams. But not something I'm interested in building necessarily at this point in my raid career. So give me a sec, guys. I'll make some more room already, and we'll start pulling again. All right, so 57 more. Let's go. Let's pull them. Yeah, I really don't know what I want. There's so many legendaries. I don't even know if I'm going to pull one. Knowing my luck, I won't even get a legendary. So any one will be a good one. Nothing of interest there. Duck the Pierce, a great champion, but I've never built him out, I've never used him. Carrying on, next temple. Any legendary will be great. I mean, if anyone's watched any of my previous videos, I pulled a Sifi on the last 2 void, ×2 void pull. So, there's a legendary. A Valk. I actually have a Valk on this account already. But she will go into the Guardian Vault, so into the Faction Wars Guardian Vault thing. Valkyrie, great champion, one of the only 3 counterattack champions or AoE counterattack champions in the game, and probably the best one out of the 3, to be honest. Marta's seeing a bit more work because she has an increased defense, but other than that, I don't really use her that much. I did use her in my just a standard 1-for-1 clan boss team with counterattack, but she's since gone away since I built my 2-for-1 with my Helicaps. So I need to make some more room, guys, and then I'll be back. And the last temple here, guys, I just realised while I was clearing out while I was making room, I just realised I've really underplayed Valkyrie in that last pull. So for anyone, I do apologise. We'll go and have a look at her kit, and we'll see what she can do. It's only because I have one already that I actually haven't really built and don't really use, which is, you know, just show me in the comments if you think I'm wrong in doing so. But yeah, I do already have one. Let's just pull these last 7. Nothing on the last 10 pull, nothing of interest, but we'll pull the last 7. I think 1 legendary is enough in about 100. I mean, that is the odds. Oh no, it's not. I don't know. I can't remember. We'll have a look in a minute. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with a legendary. I'm happy with any legendary, even if it's a dupe. She'll go into my Guardian Vault thing. And if I ever see the day, then I'll +1 her, you know, 100%, because she's one of the best champions in the game, arguably one of the best champions in the game. Probably not in my top 10 because I've already got that big clan boss team that I wanted and all the teams that I've got going on. But she could make a difference if I start trying to beat Hard Doom Tower, for example, which is sort of my next big challenge that I want to do since I've beat Faction Wars. yeah, hard Doom Tower is on the table for me. So maybe she'll help clear hard Doom Tower. So that was it. Valkyrie on my Kale account. We'll go and find her. Where are you? So this is Valkyrie. So she's got an A1 that decreases the turn meter by 10% on each hit if the target has any buffs. And then she's got a big counter attack, and she does a big shield based on her damage. So if you build a really high damage, she puts on a really big shield and gives counter attack to the rest of the team. And then her passive A3 will increase the turn meter by 10% for each enemy champion that places a buff. So what you'll know, if anyone's completed Faction Wars, you'll know that the waves with the Valks on it are so hard. You have to be really picky with the champions that you choose to fight the Valk waves. And hopefully, if I build her out, and especially if I can +1 her in the future, she'll be just as hard for enemy teams. And then she's got defense in faction crits by 33% on her aura. So what I'll do, guys, I'll log on to my other account. I need to make some room, and then I will start pulling on that one. Let's just look where we are in the champion chase. Legendary book. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take a legendary book. I've got loads of legendary books for completing Faction Wars, and it's actually probably the most legendary books I had at any one time. I have used them all. So any legendary book now. So I'm 7th in the tournament, which or the tournament. So nothing crazy. I'm sure I'll be out of the top 10 by the end of it because of all the whales in there. And while we're here, guys, I'll just pull this Immortal Soulstone because I can. I'll buy that. I'll buy that one, and I'll pull the Immortal one. And Draconis, which I've never used. So I'll see you on the other account, guys, and we'll start putting shards on that one. And here we are, guys, on my Galek account. I've got 106 Ancients on this one. So the chances of getting Legendary are 1%. So on my other account, I pulled nearly 100, and I got a Legendary. So I would say that you know, spot on the odds. So in theory, I should get Legendary on this account as well if the numbers are correct. So let's just jump into it and start pulling. My first 10 pull on my Galek account. Again, I don't have a Brogni on this account, so that would be huge for me. I would absolutely love that. I think Brogni and a Krisk, Rearguard Sergeant, great champion. No one else of interest on this one. So yeah, I think a Krisk and a Brogni would give me the ability to be able to start building a Infinity team. And that's the clan boss team that really interests me. These 2-for-1, 3-for-1 teams, they are great, but the one that really interests me is that Infinity team, because that's where you get the biggest numbers. So that's what I'm looking for. I doubt I'll ever get it. If I haven't got a Brogni by now, I don't know if I ever will. Keelan the Shrike. I don't know this champion. One of the Sylvan Watchers. Might be a useful champion in the future. Weaken, decrease speed and veil, and attacks all enemies. I mean, might be good in the future. If I ever need to beat the Faction Wars, with that faction, then maybe it'll be a useful champion. Not sure. I'll make some room again. I'm always making room, I feel like. I'll make some room and then we'll get back to it. All right, guys, let's go. 76 more to go. 7 more 10 pulls. Let's hope we get that legendary I want. That's what that's all I'm asking for. One legendary, even if it's a dupe, I don't really mind. Nothing on that one. Really uninteresting pull, 10 pull actually. Judicator, Tumbor. I've just pulled a Tumbor. I don't know about that champion, but I'll look into him in a minute and see if he's any good. If I haven't heard of them from YouTube, they're probably not anything. There's a legendary. Lanikis. So Lanikis is one of those like standout champions for the Infinity teams. So actually, maybe my first step towards building one. So Lanikis, great looking champion. A1 has a continuous heal buff on this champion for 1 turn if the attack's critical. That's not really that interesting. And then has an ally attack. The allies joining the attacker will use their fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%. So she does a turn meter increase and the ally attack, and then has what looks like increased attack and increased crit rate. So you don't have to build your champions with so much crit rate. on a 4-turn cooldown on her A3. So Lanicus, a great legendary, not one on my wish list, but probably one that would be useful in the future. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Let's keep going and see if I get another one. It's quite a legendary quite early on, so I might get another one. So yeah, if anyone watches any of the big content creators, the Infinity teams normally have a Chris, a Brogni, a Lanicus as an ally attacker, a big damage dealer, and another champion that can increase buff duration. So then that buff duration is constantly spinning, constantly going up. Nothing of note on this temple. I'll just make one more bit of space and then we'll pull the last 36. And here we go, guys. Let's hope for another legendary. If I get 2 legendaries on 100 shards, I'll be pretty happy with that. Here's hoping, knowing my luck. Well, I say this, knowing my luck, I won't pull another legendary, but I said that before and I pulled one in that as I was saying it, I think. So yeah, let's wait and see. No one of interest on the last 10 pull. Another Trumbor, not a champion I'm probably going to build, but I've pulled 5 now, I think, on both accounts. Come on, I can feel a legendary brewing. Tarshon. So that is it. I'll just pull this last 6. So, yeah, summing it up. I got a Valkyrie on my Kale account, which is my 2nd Valkyrie. I don't think I've got so many Barbarian Legendaries that my faction crypt, faction crypt thing is full. I should really go and find out what that's called. I will in a sec. So she's not going to be a +1 Valkyrie, but maybe in the future. And I got a Lanicus on this account, on my Galek account. So Lanicus is the start of maybe a solid team, of an Infinity buff team. But I don't have any of the other champions to make it work, so it might take some time to build up build that up. But I'll definitely 6-star her, just because she might be helpful to have around. An ally attack champion is really helpful to have around, and it's the same for the Valkyrie on the other account. I don't need them on my teams, but they will be very helpful. Heiress, a great rare used in some of these really big boy Demitha clan boss teams. I have got her, I've locked her, and I've started leveling her, but I don't know if I'll use her in the future. So there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. 2 legendaries out of nearly, well, just over 200 Ancient Shards. I would say it's pretty good odds. Shout out to all of the weekend DIYers. I'm going to go and get back to it, and I'll see you next time for the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.